Hello guys, it's Aviation Lovers with Pony. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Yes, today I want to talk about the different career paths you can take while working in the aviation industry. So as most of you will understand, there are so many things and career options that you can undertake to work in the aviation industry, and not only to become a pilot, a helicopter pilot, or a fixed wing aircraft pilot. Yeah, so there are so many other career paths you can choose, so many of them you can, and I'm going to list most or some of them here, and I know you can, the rest you can search for them. Yeah, this is just like an eye opener that we can always diverge to different aviation career choices. So the first one, for example, when you are working on the airport, let's say on the airport grounds, one of them is you can be a flight dispatcher. Yeah, like ensuring, like taking part in those taking off and contributing to the taking off and landing of the aircrafts in collaboration with the air traffic controllers. So that's the first one. The second one, you can be an air traffic control person working in the tower, coordinating the aircrafts as they travel around the world, and also in your particular airspaces that you have that are under your jurisdiction, like they are under your authority. Yeah, so working in the air control as an air traffic control, that's another one. You can work as an aeronautical information manager. So that one disseminating information, like real-time information that are crucial for flights. For example, notices to airmen, like there can be, for example, imagine there are always this last minute information. For example, the restriction of airspace, maybe because of war or terrorism in a particular region. So they need to be updated real time to inform the aviation, because aviation in aviation industry, safety comes first. So anything that happens must be informed immediately and action taken immediately. So that's the work of an uh, aeronautical information management officer in collaboration with, of course, the ICAO, International Civil Aviation Organization. Yeah, so there is the Aviation ICAO Center that gathers all the real-time information across the world and disseminates them to aviation organizations across the world also for real-time actions. So it is the work of a aeronautical information officer to collect those information and disseminate them to interested parties, for example, pilots, air traffic controllers, and everybody. Yeah, you can work as a aircraft engineer. Yeah, this way you take part in manufacture of aircrafts. Yeah, for example, buying aircrafts, Airbus aircrafts, and what have you. The Embra, these small ones that are used for training, these Canadian planes, and many more. Yeah, so you can also become you can work as an aviation security officer, security, for example. You ensure that aviation installations, anything to do with aviation and aircrafts and aerospace installations are safe. Yeah, so that's in the security field. You can be a safety officer, ensuring that there is the aircrafts, for instance, or the spaces around the airports, for example, terminal buildings. There are safety mechanisms so that in case of any accidents, uh, there are proper measures in place to ensure that proper evacuations and everything are done in order to minimize the instances of accidents, risks, and losses. And that's the work of a safety officer. Yeah, it's like a quality control officer. So you can also work as I've talked about flight dispatch. You can also work as terminal duty officer. That's to do with customs. You can work as an aviation medicine. So you can be a doctor and then you switch to aviation field so that you specialize in aviation medicine. Yeah, because you'll be dealing with ground, whatever happens on ground and on air. So it is a whole field to focus on as a doctor. You can be a lawyer or an attorney, so that as you have practiced law, you can now specialize in aviation matters. That's aviation law, international law. So you realize that there's a lot of things to do in there. Yeah, you can be a journalist. You're a journalist and then you switch to aviation. So you can be covering aviation stories alone. Now you'll be switching to that small field, and you'll be specializing in aviation. And also you can be an aviation historian. Yeah, giving records and everything to do with aviation, what has been informing aviation over time and everything to do with that. So you'll, in that manner, alongside being an historian, you'll be collaborating with aviation personnel to ensure that um, like the development, I mean the aviation system in aviation, the aviation curriculum developers and everything to ensure that you develop the right content, maybe for those students learning in classrooms. Yeah, and talking about education, you can be a curriculum, you can work in the curriculum development, coming up with these short courses, professional courses that are very good for aviation or anybody working in aviation field. So remember, to work in aviation sector or in any career, you have to study. And now, who makes this career? Who comes up with this curriculum that you can learn? For example, you want to become, let's say, a safety officer. So you want to go and learn. So who is the developer of those courses? So remember, you can as well develop those aviation courses by work in curriculum development. So you can specialize in curriculum development for aviation, and then you can be coming up with courses, professional courses, and everything. Yeah, depending on your preferences or choices. You can work in there's a whole lot of career choices you can do. You can work as a aircraft engineer. So there is aircraft maintenance, and also there is aircraft engineer, those people who design, the designers now. So apart from you just putting together parts as an engineer, maintaining like a mechanic, for instance, you can be designing, coming up with technologies, like innovating and developing and creating new technologies, aircraft technologies, and aviation technologies that are current, up to date, and they're going with the pace, new systems in the world. You can be a software developer for aviation. Remember, there is this thing, for example, softwares that an autopilot, for example, uses a software, um, simulations uses softwares and everything. Like to automate processes, you have to develop a software or use a software. So you can be that software person working for aviation, developing aviation software. Yeah, you understand. And apart from software engineer, you can work as a flight attendant, as a crew, being part of the crew, like serving people, ensuring that people are okay on the aircraft. And also, you can become a quality control. So this way, you'll be checking the airworthiness of the aircrafts. Yeah, to ensure that they are airworthy. It's like the roadworthy aircraft. So that's working in the quality control. But so you realize that, as I discussed, you can work as an avionics expert, specializing in aviation electronics. For example, you realize that as airplanes travel, for example, there are those lights that planes. So those are electronics, and they are developed and maintained by avionics experts. You can work as a telecommunications office. You can take a telecommunications course and then work in radar. Remember, in airports we have radars. Those are equipment that rotate and captures whatever is traveling in space, and then get that data, get data about those airplanes or aircrafts, and then disseminates them to interested parties. For example, the military and air traffic controllers and the military. In most cases, the Air Force and the air traffic controllers work in unison, because they are working um, uh, maintaining, ensuring order in our airspace, ensuring that the objects flying in the airspace are always certified and authorized, and also maintaining that the safety of the airspace. Yeah, so they always work in collaboration. So to work in a radar in a radar station, for example, you have to be a telecommunications officer or a telecommunications engineer. Yeah, you can work as of course, you are maybe civil and structural engineer, maintaining airports and airfields. Yeah, those are constructed and maintained by civil and structural engineers. Yeah, you can work. So, as I discussed, you realize that there are so many things you can do. As a safety officer, you can take your safety expertise to the aviation environment and now ensure that the spaces that people stay and everything are secure, are safe, actually, not secure but safe. Secure is for security personnel. Yeah, you can, as a data scientist or as a data analyst, you can become an aviation data scientist or data analyst. So you are analyzing data for the aviation sector. For example, airlines, the operations of airlines, the expenses, or the cost and the profits the revenues and the profits and everything, sensitivity analysis and what have you. So you can become a data analyst for in the aviation industry, and you can realize that there is a lot of things you can do, and you just don't always fix your mind as a pilot. No, there are so many. You can become an aviation manager, like the course I did civil aviation management degree level, and if God allows, I may take. Okay, there's so many things to do, uh, but I'm still considering a lot of things. Maybe aviation security, maybe aviation data analyst, or maybe there is this thing called aviation sustainability. You can work as an environmental expert for aviation. So this way, minimizing the environmental influences or impacts of aviation operations, and ensuring that, like, in in line with the current climate change uh, perspective, you can become an environmental expert or a sustainability expert in aviation. So that's also, I can see that's an emerging field, and it's also something you can dig into. And I'm also still considering myself, maybe for masters, or I don't know. I'm still thinking about it. Yeah, so you can also do that. You can, as an environmentalist, you can work in the aviation sector, because you remind. Let me give you one example. Aircrafts use fuel. These fuel are fossil fuels, so they are destructive to environments. And remember, some aircrafts are long range. They can go, for example, from Nairobi to London, or from London to New York direct, or from London to, I'm choosing long range distances, maybe from Britain to China, or from Britain to Australia, or from Dubai to Australia. So those are long range aircrafts, and in most cases they can take even up to 24 hours in flight, or 20 hours. So they are burning fuel, and they are destroying the environment. So as an environment expert, what is your solution towards that? So you remember, everywhere you always have to solve a problem. You just don't just go look for a job. Take value to the table. What are you coming to solve here? And that's why uh, the world is moving to what do you call this? The world is moving to a situation whereby we use electric aircrafts. Yeah, electric or solar. Yeah, either of them. Actually, solar. Yeah, solar. It's, I think it's the same thing. Solar, electric. It's the same thing, because it's using solar energy. It's using energy that's already there in the environment, and it is called green energy, and it is promoting environmental conservation and avoiding pollution. Yeah, so that is it. So those are my few cents about the courses you can do in the aviation sector. And I know, as you explore, you can learn a lot as you move around. And certificate courses, diploma courses, degree courses, anything, you can do them. Oh, I just forgot. I almost forgot. You can become a marshaller, the person who directs planes on the airfield. Yeah, marshaller or apron controller. You can do that, and a lot of many other things. You can become an accountant in an airport. For example, we have a lecturer who he was called Mr. Jesop. He was an accountant in Kenya Airways, KQ, and he was teaching us a lot of things like quality systems in aviation, those courses and everything, airport management. Yeah, so you can do that. Thank you so much. That was just my few cents. I just felt that I must share with you, because I've been doing a lot of those as an interested person in aviation. I've been doing a lot of those things, and I realized that I must share, so that we can also have a lot of information for the world and for the people to decide. So thank you so much. Be blessed. Thumbs up. Bye bye.